Well, 4 days of hype, now about to funnel into 4 quarters of truth. It is the playoffs. Sectionals are underway. Districts are just around the corner. Only one team will be able to get there, correct?
District finals around the corner, so technically this is going to be a district semifinal here tonight. So the winner will get Friday night chance to advance to the regional. A big-time task, and both these teams, I think, have to feel they've got a great shot at getting there.
Well, you win your first one, you've got one underneath your belt. The key is, can you keep it going? At this point in time of the season, you're playing for the right to wear the uniform one more time as we welcome you aboard to the Dog Pound. DCTV Sports is on the air with the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. You can also visit them online at drivebobestel.com. The Ayersville Pilots at 14-9 overall, 5-2 in the GMC, taking on non-conference opponent, the Crestview Knights at 13-9 and 3-4 out of the Northwest Conference. How both these teams got here last round, it was a tough one at the hangar, but the Pilots held off conference opponent Fairview by a final of 46-41. Crestwood, obviously being one of the top 2 seeds, picked up a bye. It's been, as a matter of fact, almost 2 weeks since the Knights have taken the court for anything official. We'll get to that in just 1 second, but Scoop, right now on paper, you got a very interesting matchup highlighted by 2 standout guards. Jeremiah Peak, the off guard, team's second leading scorer for Ayersville, and the point guard for the Knights, Hayden Parrott, who is the team's leader in points, assists, and he also picks up about 4.5 rebounds per game. Should be a good matchup tonight.
Oh, this should be a great matchup. I've had the opportunity to watch both these teams multiple times this season, so I think it's going to come down to who really can execute and come up with the big stop when necessary. Because, again, these teams have no problem putting talented guys out there on the floor. I think we're going to have some great matchups. You mentioned one of them right there. This is the game where you're going to have to play 32 minutes. If not, you could be on the short end.
Again, a young man who has earned the nickname The Pest, Jackson Stambaugh, the defensive stopper for Ayersville. He doesn't light up the scoreboard, but what he does do is draw the opposition's best player. There's going to be a lot of man defense. We will see some zone defense by the Pilots tonight, but it sounds like, as we're going to hear from head coach Logan Wolfram, they're going to start in man, and the Pest is going to draw the straw that stirs the drink.
Well, you call him the Pest. I call him the Glove. You know, he's just been so solid defensively. He leads the team with over 3 deflections per contest, has about a steal and a half per game on the season as well. But, again, he can take away your strength, can force you to your weakness, and that's what he really brings to the team. And with his tenacity on defense, I think it has that carryover effect on his teammates as well.
2 things. The Pest is organic. You continue to go with former Seattle Supersonics nicknames. Do you think anybody from this group knew who the human racer was, who Gary Payton was?
No, I can get away with it because it's well before our audience's days. So.
We joke because we love. But, ladies and gentlemen, here's the situation tonight. One of these 2 teams is going to advance. From a coach's perspective, whether you're Doug Etzler or Logan Wolfram, how do you treat this? Can you treat this like just another ball game, or do you want your guys maybe a little more amped up than usual?
Well, yeah, I think they're going to be more amped up than usual just because of the atmosphere, you know, a chance to get to the district final. But I think as a coach, you know, from day one, you try to treat each day the same. You know, you go out there, compete the best you can, day in, day out, you know, win the day, try to get better day in, day out. So that way when you get to these big moments, you've been there and done that. Now, that's easier said than done, but we'll see what comes to fruition here in just a little bit.
We're about 25 minutes away from tipping this one off. There's already an edge. There is some energy in the Dog Pound, and we expect it only to crescendo until tip-off time. What we're going to do is take a quick timeout. Had a chance to stop out at an Ayersville practice earlier this week. We are going to talk to head coach Logan Wolfram, and our player profile is Eli Jacques. Again, he doesn't get a lot of time, but he's one of those glue guys. He's the leader on the bench. He's basically the emotional guy, and his teammates absolutely love him. but that will come, you'll hear that during the interview. As usually when you're doing an interview in front of your teammates, there's going to be a little bit of chop busting. But a tremendous young man, a business owner as well as a senior. But I won't steal any more of his thunder. What we're going to do is take a quick time out. When we come back, we will hear from Coach Logan Wolfram. He'll break this one down. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Welcome back. DCTV Sports is on the air with the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, conveniently located on North Clinton Street in downtown Defiance. Check out their great selection of new and used vehicles in person. It's finally warm enough now that you can get out there without having your boots stick to the lot. Or you can always check them out online at drivebobestill.com. I believe you are a convertible Camaro guy. Yes? No?
I'm a truck guy. And if you look at my truck, it hasn't been washed in about 2 months.
Okay. So a Chevy Silverado off their lot would fit you just fine, right?
Yep,
okay.
It would.
Coach Wolfram joining us as we are joking right now, but it's time to get serious about some basketball. The postseason is here. Ayersville with a game underneath their belt. A tough-fought victory over Fairview last week. They don't get any easier as they welcome Crestview to the Dog Pound. So a neutral site, although one you're not unfamiliar with. Coach, first things first, congratulations. But now it is about earning the right to wear the jersey one more time. Your thought on how your team responded to open up their first-round playoff game and what it is going into this one tonight.
Yeah. I thought we prepared really well for Fairview. I thought it was a really grinded-out GMC battle, and that's what we knew going into it, where, again, I think that first game was a 71-56 score.
Which was closer than that. You salted it away from the free throw line late in that one because they had to foul to extend the game, and you hit your shots.
Yep, it was. But we knew this game was going to be in the mid-40s to low 50s, and it was just going to be a battle. And that's what it was. I think there were 8 ties, 5 lead changes, and lucky enough we made enough stops and enough buckets at the end to come away with the win.
Here's the difference, though. You're familiar with Fairview, a conference opponent, and we've joked about this, but it plays out this way most of the time every year. The first round, maybe a couple of rounds, are mini-conference tournaments. Now you get Crestview out of a different conference, tough conference. They had a couple of losses. They've got some size. They've got some depth. But as you and I were talking about, not necessarily familiar with each other. Break them down. What's the scout on them?
Yeah. Crestview, like you said, we don't know a ton about them per se, just because they're in the Northwest Conference and they kind of place a little south of us.
Lincoln View won that conference, and you're familiar with them.
Yep. So we did quite a bit of scouting, watched quite a bit of film here, so we feel comfortable with what we're going to do against them. Breaking them down a little bit, they got some really good guard play, starting with the Parrott kid. And then they got some great post presence, obviously starting with the Sheets kid.
He's not just tall; he's thick.
Yeah. I mean, he's a football guy out there. You'll see he's a grown man out there playing high school basketball. But we're going to do some things defensively that can hopefully slow them down a little bit. And then we're going to stay to our principles on the offensive end, where if we get a rebound, we're going to get it out and go. If not, we're going to pull it out, run on offense, and try to score a little bit more than they do tonight.
Look, you're not reinventing the wheel at this point in time of the year. It's not like, again, sometimes, and I know you've done this before too, you've worked on some stuff throughout the season that you haven't shown with possibly a new wrinkle, but it doesn't sound like that's going to be the case tonight. You want to play downhill just like you always have.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, defensively, we're going to probably start in man, and then we're going to definitely play some zone again tonight. Offensively, I think we threw in a couple new plays against Fairview. We're sticking to what we have now and sticking to where we're going. We'll see if they start out in man, which we anticipate. They also have shown some zone throughout the year as well, which I think we have a pretty good balance of zone offense in right now. Again, we're going to stick to what we know and what our kids feel comfortable with, and not try to reinvent the wheel, and try to make a couple more shots.
Offensively, we pretty much know what to expect from you tonight. Let's go to the defensive side. Again, this is where maybe it gets a little bit trickier against an opponent that you don't have a lot of experience against. Let's start at the guard court, because we talked about Sheets, and we can get to that because he's a tough cover. But Parrott is the guy that basically leads them in scoring, 16 a game. He also sticks his nose in. For a point guard, he's got about 4 boards per game and about 4 assists per game. It sounds like he's the straw that stirs the drink. Is he a marked man tonight?
Oh, gosh, yeah, he is. I mean, he's a very good player. Watching a lot of film on him, talking to our guys, kind of reminds us of like a Blake Roadhouse from Paulding, who we're extremely familiar with.
He's a scorer, not just a shooter.
Exactly. So he's going to do whatever it takes for them to win the basketball game, and that's the type of player he is. He's a competitor and he's a winner.
Who draws him defensively?
So obviously we're going to start with Owen or Jackson on him. Most likely Owen will start on him. And then Jackson will most likely start on his brother. Again, we're going to do a couple things defensively that we're going to try to slow him down for sure, and then try to keep the Sheets kid from going left.
If Sheets gets the seal, it's almost a given in the low post. But one thing that's unique about Crestview, and you and I were talking about it, in today's world of motion or continuity offense, they're very old school. Coach Etzler played at Ohio State back in the 90s when sets were still not that uncommon. They run a ton of sets. What's the key to defending that style of team?
Yeah, I mean, they run a ton of sets. We're going to really work today on their sets in practice. We're going to have to chase Parrott off the line, make him be a driver. Then they got some really good bench guys that come in that can really knock some stuff down. As much physical of a game this is going to be, we're going to have to be the more mentally focused team by far, and that starts this week in practice. And we've had a good week so far in practice, but being mentally prepared on what they're running, how we're guarding it, what we're doing, are we going over, are we going under, are we slamming screens? So we're going to do some things that, like I said, differently, but our guys have to be in a high mental focus going into this game.
It's about surviving and advancing. You're 1 for 1 right now. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Wolfram joining us on the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We're going to take a quick timeout. Eli JQs. It's taken me a couple of opportunities to say that correctly. He is one of those glue guys. You don't see his name in the stats a lot, but he's important on the roster. We'll hear from the senior when we come back for our player profile. Don't go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
Welcome back. The Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues here on DCTV Sports. Tip-off still a few minutes away as Ayersville, the Columbia Blue, angled. Oh, here we go. We're doing this pregame interview on the baseline, and it's with inside of your teammates. You knew this was coming, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And Coach didn't spring this on you. Eli JQ's a senior, a 4-year player. Again, you don't hear his name a ton, but Coach said you are the energy guy off the bench. He talked to you before the season started. What did he tell you he wanted your role to be this year?
Basically, Coach told me before the season, like I explained, I know I won't play that much, but I just want to be there with my team because I know we have something special here. We have something special going for us this year. We're looking to make a deep run in the tournament, and just he told me to kind of be a leader on that bench and get everyone going, get the energy pumped up and stuff. Yeah.
Well, a part of that comes in practice, too. You can hear the balls bouncing in the background. Yeah. You got to have guys that can push the starters in practice, and it sounds like you have really wrapped both arms around that role.
Yep. I typically like to guard Jeremiah, kind of make him kind of like to almost kind of do Jackson's role and be like the pest. The pest of what Jackson does on the court, and just kind of hammer on to Jeremiah and just kind of make his life hard for him during practice. So yeah,
he appreciates that though, right?
Yeah, he for sure.
He was down here mugging at you earlier.
Yeah,
so
he was.
He understands. He's been on the air before. Let's talk a little bit about the student part of a student athlete, because you told me basketball is the sport, but you're involved in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
What's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject, This year, it's probably math.
Really?
For sure, yeah, math. It's been pretty fun. Years past, I haven't really liked math, but math this year has been pretty fun for me.
You need to be good at math when you're a business owner. You got to be able to take care of the expenditures as well as what the income is. You own your own business.
Yeah, I do.
Explain it to us.
Yeah, I own my own business. I've been Eli's Lawn Care. I've been running it for, I don't know, probably good 3-4 years now, since my freshman year probably. But
and you also have some of your teammates as employees, is that correct?
Yeah, I do.
The two of them are looking over here. Do they want to be employees? Are you a fair boss?
I'd say so. Jeremiah, he's probably my right-hand man, so me and him really have a strong connection there for sure, so it's fun.
So what got you interested in being an entrepreneur?
I don't know, just a thought of, like, I don't want to have to be stuck down to a job and stuff, so owning your own business, you can definitely make your own hours. I mean, in the snow, I plow a lot of snow and stuff, so that's a lot. The long hours there and then going to school the next day, that's a lot, but it's fun. Me and Jeremiah for sure really like it and stuff like that, so yeah.
What's it taught you about time management, discipline? Basically, when maybe some of your buddies are off at the pool or the beach or just plain cruising and goofing around, you've got to lock in. What's that done for you?
For sure got to lock in. It's done a lot for me. There's, for instances, say Owen and Caden and Dane and Jackson are out over at the batting cage or something like that. They're doing some baseball. But me and Jeremiah, we're out mowing grass. We have a job. We have to be there. And those people expect us to be there for them to mow the grass or do whatever they're calling us to ask us for.
Now you have another love. It sounds like it's more than a love, maybe a passion and a potential future for you.
Yeah.
Talk to us about getting involved with the fire department.
The fire department, it's always been something since I was little. I really love the fire department and stuff like that. I'm the volunteer fire department over here in Ayersville, Highland Township Fire Department. It's fun. This opportunity came for me in August. Going through some classes right now to get certifications, and I can start to be more involved with it and go on calls and stuff like that. So that's been really good for me. And
so I have an idea what your answer is going to be, but I'm going to ask anyway. If I came back and we did another interview in 5, 10, 15 years, what's the dream job for you?
Definitely a firefighter, for sure. That has always been the goal. That's always been the dream. That's what I really want to do. So,
do you care where or what department?
Don't really care where. Just want to have a job I really have a passion for and do that.
Well, we're not going to graduate you too soon. You still got another few months left to go in your senior year. Has it clicked in yet? I know as a senior sometimes everything can get sentimental. This is the last time I do this. This is the last time I spend time with my teammates and my friends doing that. Or have you been able to keep things in perspective?
It's getting, like, since I'm only a one-sport athlete, it's been pretty kind of hard the last couple days. Like, man, this could be the last time we do this. Could be the last time we do this. I'm hoping it's not, but it could really well be that. So I always try to keep that in perspective, make everything fun, everything.
Every tip-off from here on out is for the right to wear that uniform one more time. How hungry is this team?
We're very hungry. We're a very hungry team. We want to make a deep run. We want to get past districts here and make our way through.
All right. Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you,
Not
sir.
just tonight, but the rest of your future.
Thank you.
All right, Eli, classy enough to join us here. We got to let him get back to practice. They think he's slacking on the warm-ups. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the keys to the game and the starting lineups. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Stanball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stanball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948. When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Back at the Dog Pound. We are still ticking away here. 10 minutes before we tip off. It is the district final, Northwest 1. It is a district final. It's the 4th and the 2nd seeds as the Ayersville Pilots taking on the Crestview Knights. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoot Miller. Let's go ahead and break down your keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or give their admissions office a call at 419-267-3700. 13-20 today. Let's start with Crestview, what they've got to do to walk out of here with the right to play on Friday night. Scoop?
Well, I think for Crestview, it's going to start with getting downhill. They have to attack the rim here off the dribble, try to win those one-on-one battles.
Hold that thought. We're going to get the national anthem right now, which is brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. And the national anthem in the books, courtesy of our underwriter, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with services available to them. If you would like to know what you qualify for, you can log on to defiance-county.com/veterans office or call 419-782-6861. All right, let's finish up the Northwest State Community College keys to the game. Let's go back to the Knights. And again, Scoop, get downhill, and then number 2.
They have to contain the dynamic duo. I don't think that's any secret. Jeremiah Peak and Dane Ewers come in, guys that can put up 40 points combined, possibly get 15 to 20 rebounds tonight. So they have to keep them in check. You're not going to really shut them down, but you have to make them work for everything. If the Knights can get done in these areas, they can move on to Friday night's championship game right here at the Dog Pound.
On the flip side for the Pilots, led by head coach Logan Wolfram and company, 14-9 overall, 5-2 in the Green Meadows Conference. What do they need to do to walk out of here with a win?
Well, they're going to have to really compete on the glass. This has been a strength of Crestview all season long. The Knights come in at over +5 in rebounding margin, so Ayersville really has to attack the glass on both ends. I think the other key for the Pilots is they've got to win those one-on-one perimeter battles. They have to keep Crestview in front. They cannot let Crestview get downhill and put stress on that Ayersville defense. And if the Pilots can get done in these areas, they can move on to Friday night's championship.
Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Time now for a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Let's go ahead and start with the visiting Knights, 13-9 overall, again 3-4 out of the Northwest Conference, led by head coach Doug Etzler. If the name sounds familiar, it's because it was a long time ago, back when Scoop had hair and I didn't have any grays, but Doug Etzler, back in the late 80s, early 90s, one of those standouts, especially as a senior for the Ohio State Buckeyes, but he knows the game of basketball. These are the starting 5 that he will send on the court. Hayden Parrott will be the starting point guard. Parrott stands in at 6 foot, a senior. The team's leading scorer at 16 points per game. Also the team's leading assist man at 4 a game. He also sticks his nose in. He averages just over 3 rebounds per game. At off guard, it will be Hudson Parrott. Parrott, a 5'10 junior. Hudson Parrott, averaging 2, 2, and 2. Liam Putnam will be your swing. Liam Putnam, again, standing in at 6'3 as a swingman. He averages just an eyelash under 6 points and just under 4 rebounds per game. And then the front court, they've got some height and they've got some size. Owen Heckler, number 11, a 6'4 senior. Heckler averaging 8.5 points and just under 6 boards per game. And then in the middle, and he is a beast, Will Sheets, 6'5", they say about 245 to 250 pounds. He's almost a double-double guy, 13 points and 7 boards per game. On the flip side, for head coach Logan Wolfram and the Pilots, no real surprises. It is the usual suspects. At the point, it will be Owen Lloyd. Lloyd standing in at 5'10", the senior. Lloyd averaging just under 5 points and 2 assists per ball game. At the off guard, Dylan Dunn. Dunn, a 6-foot senior. Dunn averaging 6.5 points, 3.5 rebounds per contest. At the swing, Jeremiah Peak. Peak standing in at 6'2", 16 points, 6 boards per game. And in the middle, Dane Ewers, the 6'4" sophomore, 20 points, 9 rebounds per game. As our Superior Credit Union tip-off is now, meaning we are underway. Superior Credit Union, a non-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Off and working it early. Right now, man-to-man, nice aggressive move by Dunn. He's been capable of that all season long, Scoop, and yet they practically have to beg him. He just hasn't been aggressive enough.
Well, you and I have seen that so many times, and you know Coach Wolfman's been trying to encourage him to go downhill to the rack. And what a great start there. They got all 5 guys involved in the offense, got multiple touches from a lot of those guys, ends up being an easy layup.
Heckler at the top of the key, dishes off. They are not a big perimeter shooting team, and just as I say that, that is from distance. Hayden Parrott from about 3 feet from beyond the arc. That is a West Banco 3, and he's got one coming. My goodness.
Boy, that was a heat check to say the least. Looked like he was almost on Coach Wolfram's toes there when he took that shot, falling out of bounds, and now he's going for a 4-point play here, going for the triple and one, and he gets it.
He's a 65% free throw shooter. He completes it here, and it's 4-2. Coming out really dogging on the ball defense right now. They're going to make it very sticky. Stambaugh not a threat to shoot from beyond the arc. Dunn keeping a waist-high dribble. Ewers. Now they want to get one-on-one and let Ewers create. Likewise, number 1 here, Jeremiah Peak. And that's exactly what he does. One dribble, spots up, leaves this one just a bit short. Rushing back, and am I seeing a zone here to start the ball game? Yes. It's not a true 3-2. It is more of a 2-1-2, Scoop. What they want to do is take away the high blocks, just like that, force a contested shot, although battle for the ball, scrum in the middle of the paint. Somebody's got to come back and help, and now we've got a whistle. And it's a jump ball called, and the arrow is going to stay with Crestview.
A great job by the Knights. After Ayersville secured that rebound, they put a little pressure there in the backcourt. They end up having the arrow, so a quick turnover here for the Pilots.
Low blocks, kind of a dangerous jump pass. Heckler cut off by Peak. Whoa, and Peak gave him more than a love tap. 2 hands in the middle of the back. On the drive, Parrott dishes to the wing. Heckler cut off. Up top, Parrott, is he feeling it? This one goes around the world and kicks out, and Ewers with the board. He can run for a big man. Nobody picks him up. Peak from distance in the near corner. He's missed his first couple shots. 4 blue jerseys get back. Parrott doesn't care. He's taking on everybody and anybody, and he finishes with the right hand.
Yeah, big-time move by the senior, Hayden Parrott. And, again, he's gotten downhill 3 times already here in the first couple possessions, so he's doing a great job attacking it. And, again, we talked about it off air, Brent. He can control this game. When he's able to get downhill, that gives them all their options available.
Lloyd swings it to the right side. Ewers, nice switch that time defensively by Will Sheets. Tell you what, for a big man, he's showing that he can come out and play a good 15 to 17 feet from the basket.
He's scrappy. You know, he plays hard. He's got great size, great length. And again, he's a guy that's got a good touch, too. Leads them in field goal shooting just under 65%.
Ewers trying to take him, dishes off. Lloyd for 3, a West Banco 3, and that is exactly what Ayersville needed.
That's good offense. And again, getting everybody involved, great floor spacing, no hesitation that time. And a good-looking West Banco 3 puts the Pilots back on top.
Down low, Sheets got the seal, and sometimes that's a smart move by Dane Ewers. We were always, Coach Scoop, sometimes when you're beat, you're beat. Don't compound it by giving up a basket and a foul.
Well, that's a great set by Crestview. Something they do so well. They're going to run a lot of sets here tonight. That one was greatly executed.
8-5. Knights stretching their lead. Stambaugh in between the circles. Slows it down, gets it to Dunn. Coach Wolfram barking out the play that he wants. They're going to get everybody situated. And that's just a bad pass. Here comes Heckler at the other end, cut off. Dunn hits the deck, no call, another loose ball. And picked up by Dunn. Whoa, Stambaugh almost with a double dribble.
Great transition defense that time by the Pilots. It looked like Crestview had some numbers that time.
They are letting them play in the early going. It is physical, just like that. The strip, the steal. But, and Ewers gets back. Are they going to call a goaltend? Or are they going to call a foul?
Going to call a foul. Well, we've seen a lot of physicality early. And as Archbold head coach Joe Frank would say, boy, he got bushwhacked out there near half court, but a no call played through it. Then Ewers tried to make the spectacular block, but I think the officials got that one right.
So Hudson Parrott will head to the free throw line. He is a 56% free throw shooter, somewhat of a small sample size on the season, 9 of 16. And the first one rattles out, then hits the backboard and falls. There you get a good look at him. Boy, in the early going, we're barely more than halfway through this first quarter, and yet, Scoop, I'm seeing a lot of heavy breathing, a lot of hands on the knees.
Well, it's going to be a physical game. You can expect at this level, the officials are going to let these kids play. We talked about that beforehand. Again, this is a great officiating crew, so I'm sure both coaches more than happy to see these three guys work in this district semi-game here tonight.
Our officials tonight, Joe Allen, Scott Buttlemeyer, and Ed Kalenko. Peak looking down low. Ewers trying to muscle down on Sheets. Testing the waters. Peak 0 for 2. Nice spin move. Trying to get down, and yes! Count it, and one coming. Brute strength by Jeremiah Peak.
Well, that was just a great matchup. I thought that was great defense. We saw both guys really showing their physicality out there, but that time Peak was able to get downhill. He's able to win that one-on-one perimeter battle, and now he'll get a chance to go for the and one. And that's huge. That gets this down to a one-possession game.
Drapery's swish, and that's exactly what it does. Make it 10-8. This is football without pads right now, Scoop. They are letting them play. And out of that zone into a man-to-man defense. Ayersville, Heckler sends that one deflected to the Ayersville bench.
We've seen both these teams, and we know both these teams can get physical. Especially we've seen Ayersville do it defensively at times this year. So right now, these guys seem to be locked in, mix it up a little man and zone, back to the man-to-man here.
Wide open, far corner, 3 on the way. Absolutely nothing but net for Owen Heckler. Another West Banco 3, the second of the evening for Crestview.
Another great set run that time by the Knights as Heckler's able to catch and shoot in rhythm there.
Ewers falling out of bounds. Up top, Peak from distance. He's finding his range now. West Banco's going to get their money's worth out of their sponsorship tonight.
No doubt about it. Again, great ball movement, great ball spacing. And you just cannot let Jeremiah Peak catch and shoot in rhythm. He's that lethal.
Both teams now starting to warm up a bit. 2:15 showing on the first quarter clock. Heckler puts it on the floor into congestion. Loses the ball. Stambaugh with the steal. Another turnover. Grady Wolfram slowing it down. Peak wide open. Top of the key. Got it! Another West Banco 3. And now he's feeling it.
Great job by the Pilots. Are able to turn that turnover into 3 points at the other end. But credit Wolfram. You got a guy with a hot hand. You give him the ball right away. Back-to-back trifectas there from Jeremiah Peak.
Pilots up by 1. At the other end, Heckler long off the heel of the iron. Stambaugh being told, slow it down. Coming up on 90 seconds left to go in what has been a furious first quarter of action.
That zone defense by Ayersville forcing some tough shots. And the important thing for Ayersville, you got to rebound out of that zone. And right now, Ayersville's done a nice job of that.
Peak off the Stambaugh screen. Boy, dangerous pass into the corner, right back to Peak. He'll back it out. Sheets won't come that far out on him. He's going to take a step back 3. It's a bit short. And the Pilot offense was spread that time. Nobody under. Here comes Parrott at the other end. Double clutches 2 off the square.
He's so good at taking guys off the dribble. And again, he's getting downhill early and often here in this one. Another great drive and finish there by the senior Hayden Parrott.
He averages 16 a game. He already has 8, and we're not out of the first quarter yet. Wolfram, Lloyd, nice jab step, but he kind of got caught between do I or do I not, and by that time the defense had recovered. 36. Fade away. Peak gets the friendly roll.
My goodness, that time he had the glove all over him, but he just kind of went up and made a play through contact. And how about this? The Pilots retake the lead here. Looks like Crestview will play for the final shot here in quarter one.
Peak averages 16 a game, Scoop. He's got 11. 10 seconds left to go in the quarter. What time are they going to start putting their offense into motion? Sheets low blocks, drop step to the middle of the paint. Got a good look, but left it short. Ewers with the board, and he's fouled. My goodness.
Pretty good set that time by the Knights. They got Sheets isolated 1-on-1 down there in the low block, but again, a lot of physical play out there, and the officials doing a great job of letting these guys play. Now we'll see what Ayersville can do with 2.2.
Foul's going to go against Cash Hammonds as a 3/4 court length shot by Peak goes begging off the right side, and we have come to the end of the first 8 minutes of play. Pilots 16, Knights 15. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Back with quarter number 2 right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Back at the dog pound, trying to catch their breath and rehydrate after an absolute track meet of a first quarter. The first 8 minutes are in the books. We got a dandy of a matchup here, as technically you'd call them the home team, but on the scoreboard they're the visiting team because they're the lower seed. But right now Ayersville behind 11 points from second leading scorer Jeremiah Peak, leading the Knights of Crestview 16-15. On the flip side, point guard Hayden Parrott for Crestview, he averages 16 a game. Scoop, he's got 8. We're seeing best on best right now.
Well, we are, and you talked about that matchup ahead of time, and we have not been disappointed. We had a couple lead changes in that first quarter. Both teams out there playing awfully hard.
Peak beyond the arc. A little bit of hand checking from Liam Putnam. Ewers, who averages over 20 a ball game, has yet to take a shot tonight for Ayersville. Stambaugh hands it off to Peak. He thought about it. Stambaugh on the drive, but Sheets cuts him off. Wolfram, nice spot up jumper, just a little off the mark. Scoop, at some point, you just don't figure it's going to be a game of one-on-one between Parrott and Peak. And right there, I was about to ask you, who steps up? Who's the secondary guy that makes the difference tonight? Maybe it's Liam Putnam for the Knights.
Well, Putnam's that type of player. You know, he's one of those guys that plays this role so well. He comes to play each and every night. And that time, the beneficiary of a great assist from Hayden Parrott, who once again was able to get downhill.
Lead back up to 1 for the Knights. Ewers has just been dogged everywhere he's gone tonight.
And Ewers were not forced shots. You know, he'll let the offense come to him, but that may free up Peak just a little bit more, which we saw in that first quarter.
What a great crossover, but with contact, he loses the ball. He muscles up anyway. Halfway down, it spits out. Sheets with a strong two-handed board.
Big-time rebound by Sheets there to haul that in traffic.
Parrott will slow it down. Nobody's picked him up. Boy, I thought he was going to take that 15-footer. Instead, he dishes. Hammonds, he's a guy that I think also could be an X factor tonight. Cash Hammonds averages 7 a game, and Coach Wolfram had nothing but praise for him during his postgame last night.
Well, and undoubtedly so. You know, he shoots over 50% from the floor, as you saw right there.
Long three, nothing doing, out of bounds off the Pilots. What do you have for turnovers and board work through the first 8?
Well, for the first 8, each team had 2 turnovers that led to some points at the other end on each side. And rebounding-wise, the Pilots held a 1-board advantage, 4-3 through the opening 8 minutes. Neither team had an offensive board to this juncture.
19-16. A 1-possession lead right now for Crestview, looking to add to it. And the Pilots have switched back to that 2-1-2 zone. Sheets going to work in the middle against Ewers. A little hard off the glass. Ball tapped out. Stambaugh flips it back. Here's Ewers with a rare opportunity in the open court. Cut off. Down low. Muscles up and swatted away by Putnam.
How about Putnam there? 1-on-1 defense, and then he gets the swat.
Sheets going to work in the low blocks again. Kicks it right back out. Inside, outside, and fouled on a 3. Hayden Parrott will head to the line.
Another mistake there by that Pilot defense. The second time tonight that Hayden Parrott's been fouled, taking a 3-point attempt. First one he was able to connect on and get the 4-point play. This time he'll get 3 free throws coming up.
First is on the way. It is long. More importantly, Scoop, that's the second foul against Dane Ewers for the Pilots.
Yeah, right now Ewers, it's hard to believe that guy's got more fouls than points right now. And even shots taken, but credit Crestview for that. They're the second of 3 up and in there for Hayden Parrott.
He's a 64% free throw shooter, and without question, the most of any at the line for the Knights. 87 out of 134 coming into tonight.
Yeah, he also leads the team at 65%, and there he gets, as we would say, Brent Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 8-pack.
Oh, wow. 21-16, the lead up to 5. Pilots still yet to score here in the second quarter. Ewers going to work. Drives, kicks it up top. Lloyd pump faked. He had a second on daylight, but elected to pass up the shot. Done. Boy, the perimeter defense right now for the Knights has just been spectacular here in the second quarter.
I've been impressed.
Heat check. Oh, and it doesn't matter. Peak with another West Banco 3. What was he, 4 feet beyond the arc?
Well, Peak's saying, hey, if you're not going to double team me, I'm going to continue to look to put points on the board, and wow, has he done that.
High post, low post, Putnam. Jump ball the call, and the arrow stays with Crestview.
Great help defense in time. That side inside by Ayersville, but Crestview has the arrow, so they'll maintain the basketball in a 2-point advantage here.
Back in their half-court offense. It's just set after set after set from Crestview. Very disciplined. I'm going to say this, and with all due respect, old-fashioned, Scoop. You don't see this a lot anymore. In the days, basically today's style continuity or motion offenses, and Ayersville, good credit that time going to Dylan Dunn as he deflects the ball out of bounds off of the Knights.
I tell you what, neither team's really given up anything easy here tonight. We've talked about how the defenses are not just being physical, but doing a great job of applying a lot of on-ball pressure. And, again, trying to double-team Dane Ewers at the other end, limit his touches, which they have done.
Pilots down by 2. Dunn at the top of the key. Ewers finally gets a seal. Lots of contact. Ball partially blocked. There's Putnam again. Oh, what a great crossover by Parrott. Slows it down. Stambaugh catches up with him. Skip pass. Hammonds releases. Parrott. Boy, look at the movement. Nothing is wasted in this offense. The only thing they didn't do was finish. Ewers trying to jumpstart his offense, and he's pushed out of bounds. Tried to throw it off of Hammonds, and he and Hammonds, there's a lot of pinball going on right now. It has been physical.
It's a physical war out there, and that time you saw a little frustration from Ewers, but he was really getting pushed all the way down there. Eventually the foul was called. But again, just the second foul called combined here in the second quarter, so as physical as it has been, look for it to get even more physical here as this half unwinds.
Huxley Gross picks up the foul, his first. Stambaugh working against Sheets. Backdoor cut by Peak, cut off. Lloyd catch and shoot, in and out. Scoop, I think either Dunn or Lloyd are going to have to be more aggressive, and they're going to have to be quicker on their decisions tonight, because right now it's clear, take away either Peak or Ewers, and right now it's been Ewers defensively by the Knights.
Yeah, they've really have concentrate on that. Will Sheets has pulled down every rebound, it seems like, here at the defensive end.
And we're going to have a foul on the ball, and I think Lloyd caught too much of him trying to double team. Owen Lloyd with his first.
I think the officials are starting to see that, okay, it's escalating a little bit here, so maybe we'll see a few more whistles here down the stretch. But again, you have to love the tenacity we're seeing by both teams here, leaving it all on the floor.
Gross is going to take a seat on the Crestview bench. Catch and shoot from three, off the mark, and Stambaugh, check that, Ewers with the rebound. Up the court to Lloyd. Dunn hands it off to Peak. Spots up for three, leaves it short. Here's part of the problem, or at least the challenge, I guess I should say, Scoop, with the way that Ayersville has spread their offense. There's nobody under if you miss.
Yeah, there's been no offensive rebounds here tonight, and you're right. You better hit it because Crestview is all over the glass here at the defensive end. Knights have 6 defensive rebounds here on 6 missed shots here by the Pilots in quarter 2.
Pilots with just 1 basket here in the second quarter. It is a Peak 3. Wolfram tracks it down, but again, so much contact. And now Ayersville is going to slow it down. And they're going to call a timeout. I think this is a heads-up move by Logan Wolfram. He's asking for a 30 seconds. So we will keep it here. If you are Ayersville, you probably are looking to set something up here. I'm not saying a set play, but a set out-of-bounds play. Do you look to get Ewers something? Peak, what are you trying to do to jumpstart your offense?
Well, I think you're going to get a set here to Ewers. I would think they'd try to maybe reverse the basketball, get him to seal his guy inside, try to get a post touch, and then if they double down, maybe go inside out. Ewers distributes the basketball very well when he's under double team pressure. But I thought that was a great timeout by Logan Ruffin, the fact that he could see that they were not in sync offensively. And points have been a premium here.
Yeah.
We've gone nearly 6 minutes here in the quarter 2 and just 9 points in this second quarter combined. 6 by Crestview, 3 by Ayersville. So Ayersville needs to find something offensively to get off the schneid here.
It was a track meet of a first quarter. I mean, 16-15. And yet it's like a switch has just been flipped. And now the second quarter has been all defense. Ewers, there's the play they ran, and they got the look they wanted. Dunn to the rim. He's fouled by Sheets. Sheets thought it was clean, and you can tell by the reaction of the Crestview fans, they thought so too. That's not going to be the call.
Well, that was a great set play. You know, they got the ball to Ewers there in the out of bounds, and Ewers is going to see that double team, so they took advantage of that. They went back door. Nifty bounce pass by Ewers. Sheets thought he had all basketball. And right now, Doug Esser's saying ball don't lie after the first free throw rims out.
Dunn, a 55% free throw shooter. His first is in and out. This to pull him to within 1. Second is on the way. It's going to be short. Sheets with the board.
I tell you what, Sheets is grabbing everything in his direction here tonight. Well, he's well on his way to double-digit rebounds here.
Far corner. Hammonds releases the basketball. Putnam. Parrott drives but dishes. Exler thought about it. He's got Wolfram on him. And a lot more patience here. Nice screen. Parrott loses the ball in the middle of the paint. Lloyd, quick hands. Quick outlet and a rare fast break opportunity for the Pilots. Wolfram drives, dishes. Trailing Lloyd, and look at that. Parrott is everywhere. On the drive, and he is fouled. Scoop, I'm going to summarize Ayersville's last offensive series with one word. A rare fast break opportunity. 4 guys, indecision. Nobody wanted the shot.
Well, you're right. They initially had that 3-on-2 opportunity. You thought maybe they'd get to yours and he'd make it finish, but they kept making those extra passes because the hustle play by Crestview. And then how about Hayden Parrott coming up with the steal? And then he gets the dribble drive down the paint there, draws the contact. With that free throw right there, upset advantage of 3 points.
Parrott, a 64% free throw shooter. Connects on his second. He is 4 of 5 so far tonight. Check that. He's 5 of 6. He had 1 in the first quarter. Largest lead for either team so far tonight. And it's 4 points enjoyed by the Knights. It's Caden Boers checked in. A little bit more beef. Ewers yet to take a shot. A little bit of a lazy pass, and it's going to be over and back.
Now the second turnover here in the last couple possessions by the Pilots. And Crestview right now trying to get a little separation here.
Coming up on a minute left to go in the first half. Knights have outscored the Pilots 8-2 here in the second quarter. Sheets going up against Boer. Boer staying right with him. Off the mark. The tip no good. Third chance. Still no good, and we've got a whistle. And this may go against Boer.
Great job by the Knights that time. They were able to isolate the big man, Will Sheets, inside. And Sheets came up empty, but he got a couple offensive rebounds. And now we'll head to the stripe here to try to extend this 4-point advantage here with under a minute to go in this opening half.
Sheets, just a 39% free throw shooter on the season, and the lefty sees this one rattle in and out. Boer is the only Pilot on the roster, Scoop, that can match up with Sheets.
Yeah, when he gets the ball down low, you have to instantly double team, but he does such a great job of looking for guys relocating beyond the arc. So he'll go inside out. We've seen that already tonight, but the Hack-a-Shack works that time.
Oh, my goodness.
Offensive board.
He misses both, but an offensive board. 43 seconds left to go, and is Crestview going to take the air out of the ball?
I think that's a smart play there by Parrott. That's the 15th foul. You think about taking the air out, but anytime you're in the bonus, I think you still need to stay within yourself, attack, go downhill. And that time going downhill by Parrott gets him to the stripe where he just put a couple in moments ago.
Stambaugh guilty of his second foul for the Pilots. And as Scoop mentioned, Parrott right back to the charity stripe as he calmly drains his first.
And remember, Ayersville still stuck on just 3 points here in quarter two. So the offense has gone away. There's been no one to step up. Ewers, again, he's not just been held scoreless. He's been held to, one shot, possibly two here in this opening half. And those have been under duress.
He had one blocked, and that's the only one that I can think of, Scoop.
Yeah, that's the only one I can remember.
So 25-19, lead is 6. Under 30 seconds left to go in the half, and Ayersville will work for the final shot.
Well, not a bad idea. Your offense has struggled. If you connect here, you can potentially make this a one-possession game, and you get the ball to start the second half, so a chance for Ayersville to maybe get a shot in the arm here as we hit 10 seconds here on the clock.
Ewers crosses over, 6 seconds, and he went up, and then he came down with it. And they're just out physicaling Ayersville right now.
Yeah, I've
they
been
are just
impressed.
in their jerseys.
The physicality. They're winning those one-on-one perimeter battles, and Ayersville really has not had any good looks. The indecisiveness by the Pilots has caused some problems. Now Crestview here, still with plenty of time. Remember, Ayersville cannot foul.
Wow, they go over the top of it. Sheets, big man running right into Boer. Nothing doing, taken away. Ewers, three-quarter court shot, and we have come to the end of the first half of basketball. Outscoring Ayersville 10-3 in the second quarter. The Knights turned a 1-point deficit at the end of the first 8 minutes into a 6-point lead as both teams head to their respective locker rooms. Crestview 25, Ayersville 19. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union. Stanball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stanball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948. Stanball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stanball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
Back at the Dog Pound. I'm sitting here trying to best describe the first half of basketball. First quarter, second quarter were just complete contradictions in terms. It was an absolute track meet through the first 8 minutes of this ball game, one that saw Ayersville lead 16-15 at the end of the first quarter, and then defense ruled the second 8 minutes. As a matter of fact, Ayersville just got one basket from the floor, a three-pointer from Jeremiah Peak in the entire second quarter. You asked me how many baskets from the field that Crestview had. They only had two. It was a free throw contest through the second quarter. It all adds up, though. They count on the scoreboard just the same as the Knights lead the Pilots 25-19. Welcome back. It's time for your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, helping you achieve your dreams, securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, or online at midwestcommunity.org. Let's take a look at your Arthur Law Firm Stat Tracker stats. If a serious injury from a car crash has put you on the injured list, call the personal injury attorneys at Arthur Law Firm. Serving Northwest Ohio for more than 50 years. Get the compensation you deserve and back in the game with your winning team at Arthur Law Firm. Well, let's start with points first, Scoop. Really two players doing the damage for both of their respective rosters. No surprise, we saw Jeremiah Peak stand out strong. 11 points in the first quarter alone. He averages 16. He's almost to his average at the intermission. But again, just one three-pointer, the only points for Ayersville in that second quarter. Then it drops off considerably after that. Owen Lloyd drained a three-ball early in the first quarter. That is his scoring. Dylan Dunn scored the first points of the ballgame on an aggressive drive straight to the iron. He has two. On the flip side, Hayden Parrott, standout point guard for the Knights. He has been more than money from the free throw line. As a matter of fact, 2, 4, 6, 8. He is 7 for 8. 7 for 8 from the charity stripe so far this evening. 14 points. He averages 16 a ball game. Things drop off considerably after that, but all five starters are in the scoring column for the Knights. 3 points for Owen Heckler, that from beyond the arc early in the first quarter. Hudson Parrott with a deuce, Liam Putnam with a breakaway layup on a fast break, and Will Sheets, despite getting some touches, they have kept him in check. He has two bench points, a basket from the field for Cash Hammonds. What do you have for board work and turnovers?
Well, as you mentioned, Ayersville outscored 10-3 in the second quarter. They were also out-rebounded 10-3 in that second quarter. And the stat that concerns me for Ayersville, Brent, is Ayersville does not have a single offensive rebound through the first half. The first half numbers look like this: 13 rebounds for Crestview, 3 of them being offensive rebounds. Just 7 rebounds for Ayersville, none of them being offensive rebounds. On the turnover side, almost a wash. Ayersville's turned it over 4 times. The Knights have turned it over 5 times through the opening 16 minutes.
So there we are with our Arthur Law Firm Stat Tracker stats. What we're going to do is take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll continue to break it down. The Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
You get a good look from our mezzanine half-court camera here at the Dog Pound. Defiance High School Gymnasium. They are the host for the district matchup that you're watching here this evening on DCTV. And right now, Crestview, despite not playing for the last 11 days and entering this contest on a 3-game losing skid to end the regular season, boy, it looks like none the worse for wear as they are leading Ayersville by a score of 25-19. And Ayersville, whatever Coach Wolfram's halftime talk was, it was relatively quick because his squad is out on the court right now to get up almost a good 3 minutes of warm-up. So let's start in their locker room. Scoop, you did not play. As a matter of fact, arguably maybe the worst 8 minutes of your entire season, and yet you're still within arm's reach. It's only a 2-possession game, but what are you setting up primarily to get your leading scorer, Dane Ewers, at just over 20 points per game, who has only had one shot tonight. One shot, it was blocked. How do you get him involved?
Well, I think Coach Wolfram had to challenge his guys to we've got to be more physical because we just were not able to get downhill. The only time we saw Ayersville get downhill was on that first possession by Dylan Dunn.
Yep.
That was an aggressive first move, a first step there going to his left that completely burned that night defense. Since that time, they haven't gotten any looks inside, which the result of that is they haven't really gotten to the free throw line. But again, you've got your best player, hasn't scored yet. You've only got 5 points from guys other than Jeremiah Peak, so you're thinking, hey, things can't get any worse offensively. It's just a 2-possession game, so challenge your guys to go out there. Let's go out there one possession at a time. Just go out there, win the opening possession. And again, got to get more physical. They've got to get downhill somewhere and find a way to get some points, maybe from the charity stripe, from being aggressive, attacking the rim.
On the flip side, if you are Coach Etzler, what was your message to your team?
Well, control the boards, which they did a great job of in that second quarter. We mentioned out-rebound the Pirates 10-3, so let's make sure we're playing solid defense. They're winning those one-on-one perimeter battles, not allowing the Pirates to get to the rack. And when they take those outside shots, remember, get all 5 guys in the glass, hold the Pirates to one and done. If they can do that, they've got a really good chance of holding on and moving on.
1 minute left to go in the half before we resume third quarter action. 25-19. Ayersville will have the ball to open up the second half, so we'll see if Coach Wolfram maybe has drawn something up specifically. I'll throw this out at you here in the last 40 seconds too, Scoop. Not just to get Dane Ewers more involved, but we've seen, I don't want to say the supporting cast lock up, but we've seen some indecision, especially on the rare fast break opportunity they had probably midway through that second quarter, and nobody wanted to take an open shot. They worked it around. Are you going to need Dylan Dunn? Are you going to need Owen Lloyd to be more aggressive, not just looking for their shot, but when it's there, confident and take it?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say the same about Jackson Stanball. So, again, if they could be aggressive, look to take those shots and be aggressive offensively, a mindset, I think that's going to free up Dane Ewers. That's going to free up Jeremiah Peak a little bit. So that'll take some pressure off those guys. But, again, I think it's got to be a team effort. They've got to step up. But, again, plenty of basketball left. Just a 2-possession game here as we start things out in quarter 3.
Well, Crestview's perimeter defense has been incredible through the first 16 minutes. And it doesn't matter if it's on the ball or off it. They have been inside the Pilots' jerseys for the first 16 minutes. You would expect that to continue.
Yeah, that's huge. When you don't have to double team, you're not freeing somebody up, and right away they go to Ewers inside, and he's able to cash in. So something they obviously talked about at halftime. Nice opening set there by Coach Wolfram. Great execution there by the Pilots.
Pulls the Pilots to within 4, 25-21. Back defensively, it looks like they're going to stay in a man-to-man. Parrott, Putman, he's going to launch. We talked about him potentially being an X factor. Foot inside the line.
Well, that hurts because Ayersville's in a one-on-one, but their Peak, who's guarding Putnam, is kind of a floater out there. But now if Putnam's going to step up, take those shots.
Oh, what a move by Dunn. Spins, everything but finish. Wow.
Well, that's a good take. Unfortunately, it did not go in, but that's the mindset they've got to have.
And we got a player down at the other end of the court and trying to get a number is that Parrott. And specifically Hayden Parrott laying face first in front of the Pilot student body, and that would be a huge blow as he is grabbing his face, the team's leading scorer, not just tonight but on the season, and he is hurt. And I see the trainer, Bill Zartman from Ayersville, is working over the young man right now. And hopefully he will be okay, but wow. I didn't see what happened, but it has been physical tonight, Scoop.
Yeah, you can't even imagine how physical it's been down there in the trenches, and just hope that young man's all right. He's played a well of a ball game here tonight.
Good news, he is rolling over, and they're going to try and mop him up a bit. Looks like a bloody nose.
He was in a heavy traffic area, so you don't want to speculate, but there's a lot of elbows down there in the paint tonight, and maybe he caught one in the wrong spot.
I've had that happen.
Nice to see him kind of sit up under his own power there, and looks like they're just trying to get the bleeding to stop.
We're going to take a break. We're going to step out for 60 seconds. Hopefully Hayden Parrott will be okay. 27-21, 1 minute into second half action. Crestview leading Ayersville. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Westbanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused Westbanco. Find out more at westbanco.com. Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stanball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
Back at the dog pound, a round of applause, well-deserved for Hayden Parrott. A thick towel held over his nose. It is still bleeding. They're going to try and probably pack that up with some gauze, maybe a few Q-tip sponges. But Crestview, without their leading scorer and their point guard right now, hopefully he will be able to return. But right now, next man in, 27-21. Crestview with the lead, just underway here in second half action.
Yeah, things kind of picking up where they left off. It's been a physical game through the opening half, and certainly the opening first minute of quarter three, more or less the same.
So the question now becomes, who steps up to take over that floor general role for the Knights and head coach Doug Etzler?
Well, they certainly have some options. You would think Cash Hammonds might be the first guy maybe you possibly think of. He's a guy that can come in and put points on the board, can light it up from beyond the arc. He's a great foul shooter. He's shooting over 50% from the floor as well.
Right now, speaking of the floor, Scoop, they got to mop up the blood that's on the baseline there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hayden Parrott is able to return. He might be wearing a different jersey number as well.
Yeah, this long delay is probably going to help Coach Etzler a little bit, maybe buy some time for Hayden Parrott to get patched up and get back on his way.
Yeah,
if you know anything about Hayden Parrott, he's a competitor.
Sure.
He's going to be out here hopefully sooner than later.
There is a, let's call it, fair amount of blood on the floor being mopped up right now. They're using a second towel to try and sterilize the court. But I'm looking at the original one that they gave Hayden Parrott. It was white. It is no longer. So hopefully they'll be able to stop him up and get him back out onto the court. Physical ball game.
Yeah, when you're an athletic trainer, you always hope for a boring night, but the way these teams have kind of gone at it, I think it's going to be anything but boring for the training staff here tonight. And well, there's a good one here on all sides. I know with Defiance and Ayersville and Crestview. Certainly Hayden Parrott's getting a lot of good attention and care right now.
You can see Coach Zart joking with the officials. And he's getting a round of applause from the student body for Ayersville. That's just to the right of your screen there. So we are set to resume play. 27-21, Crestview with the lead and the ball. And they'll be moving from right to left on your screen here. And Ayersville, there's Jackson Stambaugh, the pest, stops, and boy, that's a good way to hyperextend the knee. He wanted to run, he got cut off, and everybody else was down at the other end of the court, and now we'll see if he's okay.
Yeah, it's a tough break because a fantastic defensive play there by Stambaugh, and they had a 2-on-1, but again, they turn it right back over, so each team trades turnovers here.
Double teaming out at the top of the key. Right now, Hudson Parrott looks like he's going to take over the point guard chores, at least for the time being. Exler just inside the top of the arc. Long on the 17-footer. Lloyd, outlet to Peak. He's going to go in. 360 spin move. Was he behind the backboard? I think he was, and yet somehow with the finger roll got it to fall.
Incredible play there by Peak.
And here comes the defense. Another strip. This time Stambaugh in with the layup. It's a 4-0 run.
Oh, that's huge. Points from the defense. Credit to Ayersville. They're taking advantage of the fact that Hayden Parrott is out of the ball game. They've extended their defense.
Sheets, low blocks, goes right into Dunn. That's going to be a charge.
How about that play there by Dylan Dunn? Boy, you're giving up some size there to Will Sheets, who's 6'5" and is solid, to say the least. And that time, he knew he was going to take a hit.
Man.
And wow, he sold that charge. What a great play. Ends up being another turnover by the Knights. And just like this, Ayersville with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3.
Ewers on the drive. Kicks, top of the key. Done for 3. Off the heel of the iron.
That's a great look. That's an aggressive mindset we talked about there at halftime. So that time they had a good look at it. Catch and shoot rhythm by Dunn. Just catches the back of the iron.
Putman gets deep into the lane. Great 360 spin move.
Yeah, yes, it was. Great answer that time by Putman. He's a tough guard one-on-one, especially down there in the trenches.
Dunn in between the circles. Hudson Parrott on him. Ewers sizing up Putman. Drive slips. This is just unbelievable. Loose ball picked up by Dunn. He's going to drive. Takes it all the way in. Draws the contact. Putman with the foul.
Great job that time by Dylan Dunn. And that's that aggressive mindset you have to have. We talked about the importance of really trying to win those one-on-one battles, get downhill. And that time he knew he was going to take a shot. Did a great job protecting the basketball. Now 2 free throws coming up. First one up and in by the junior, who's a 55% free throw shooter.
That's his first of the night. He's now 1 for 3. He's trying to get to 50% and pull his squad to within a basket. And he does just that. And no surprise here, Scoop. Ayersville out in full court pressure.
Yeah, I like it. They're going to look to jump in the backcourt if they can. Nice job this time by Hudson Parrott to break the pressure.
Putman again deep into the lane. On the drive, Hayden Parrott has checked back in. Slowing things down. Parrott, Sheets low blocks, muscles up, and gets the 2.
Great job. Last couple buckets by the Knights have come inside. This time they're able to find Will Sheets, and you're not going to stop him once he gets the ball near ground zero.
Ewers on the drive, cut off into traffic. Dunn didn't want the 3. He drives and is cut off. Ewers, heat check. Front of the iron, backboard, nothing doing, out of bounds. Stambaugh goes into the stands, and did he save that ball?
I think they said it ruled off Crestview. Must have hit the line before.
It looks like it will stay Pilot possession.
Not a popular call in Convoy.
No. Peak. He's got 1 basket to his credit here in the second half. He's got 16 of his team's 27. Spins, fades away, skims off the front of the iron. Ewers saves it. Stambaugh leans in. Man, they are just scrapping, clawing, and fighting right now.
And how about the offensive rebound by Dane Ewers? Great athleticism to not just get the basketball, but great awareness to stay in bounds.
Scoop, how about this? That is starting center Will Sheets' 3rd foul.
Well, that could be huge. I would think Coach Doug Exler may give him a little rest here for at least a minute or 2.
Stambaugh, 58% free throw shooter, makes good on his first.
Well, nice to see Stanball that time, an alert play away from the basketball, made a rim run there when yours was making that play. And Will Sheets will take a rest here with 4:06 to go.
Stanball long on his second, so the score remains 31-28. Doug McDougal is checked in. On the drive, Parrott says, I'm none the worse for wear.
Great take that time by Hayden Parrott. Nice to see that young man back in the ball game. That time he gets downhill, nice finish.
Stanball does the same. You figure anything out of him is considered gravy, but look at this scoop. He's got 5 points in the second half.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about at halftime, that adjustment they need to make, and credit Stanball, he got downhill.
Parrott on the drive and hits the short jumper. Man, he's taking a ton of abuse, and he's dishing it out. Other end, Peak with the fast break. Buckle in.
Tell you what, the officials may need an official timeout right now. This has turned into a track meet here the last minute and a half.
35-32. Hudson Parrott on the drive, pump fake. Putman thought about it. They're going to be patient. Heckler gets rid of the basketball. Putnam. Parrott to Parrott on the left wing. Dunn swatting at the ball. He thought about a step back three, but Ewers came out. We got a whistle away from the ball. Bodies flying everywhere.
I think we've got a double foul coming up here,
if
I'm
may.
not mistaken.
Dunn and McDougal were just beating on each other.
Yeah, McDougal there at 6'5". He's a big man. Dunn at 5'11", not backing down 1 inch. So this should be a double foul, and they go by the arrow, so I believe it will be Crestview basketball here, but they will lose the possession here after the inbounds.
Hudson Parrott breathing heavy as he heads to the Crestview bench. Man, it has really picked up here in quarter number 3. Hammonds. Bounce pass to McDougal. He only averages a little over a point a ball game. Wexler, a great backdoor cut by Putnam. Count it, and one coming. That's just great movement without the basketball by Putman.
That was great offense that time by Crestview. They're able to get that ball reversed, and a nice rim run by Putman. And then he did a great job with the head and shoulders fake. Got Ayersville off their feet, and now he has a chance for the end one. Boy, that's a huge play there by the 6'3" senior Liam Putman. A 64% free throw shooter.
This one is short. More specific, though, and important for Ayersville, Scoop, that's Dane Ewers' third foul. So both bigs are in foul trouble here in quarter number 3. Dunn, the waters part. He goes all the way in and finishes with a teardrop.
Great take. Nice to see some secondary guys step up here for the Pilots.
37-34. Parrott cut off by Wolfram. Wexler loses the ball in the paint, dives for it, and oh my goodness, they're going to call a foul on Peak.
Yeah, that's a break, I think, for Crestview because it looked like Heckler was in trouble. He gets bailed out with the call.
First foul for Jeremiah Peak. McDougal out. This is about as small a lineup as Crestview's put on the floor tonight. Heckler gets rid of the basketball. Nice crossover by Parrott. On the drive, he traveled.
That's an excellent call. Good job that time by Ayersville. Parrott's such a tough guard, 1-on-1, but that time the physicality of the Pilots kind of rerouted him, forced him to make a tough spin move, ends up turning the basketball over. 4 turnovers now here in the third quarter for the Knights.
Dunn strolls it across the timeline. Under 2 minutes left to go third quarter. He's picked up his dribble. Got to be careful. That tight perimeter defense by Crestview continuing to hound anybody and everybody beyond the arc. Peak on the drive. Cut off. Keeps a waist-high dribble. Bullet pass. Lloyd. Nice crossover. On the drive. He picks up the foul.
And credit Ayersville. You know, the halftime adjustment they made about getting those other guys involved, being aggressive, they're really coming out. Great job that time by Dunn. He recognized he had a 1-on-1. He had an aggressive closeout coming at him. He just goes downhill to the rack, and now he'll head to the stripe. A 55% free throw shooter can make this a 1-point game. First one up and in.
Foul against Hudson Parrott, his first. And this to pull to within 1 point.
This will be as close as Ayersville's been since quarter one if he can get this one to go down.
He cannot. It remains a basket lead. 90 seconds left to go. I was about to say to you, slow it down. They do not. Hammond's off the mark. He gets it back off the offensive board and gets the friendly roll.
Big offensive rebound that time by the Knights. They converted into 2 quick points, and that's huge. Gets it back to a 2-possession game.
Peak on the drive. Parrott cuts him off. Dunn top of the key. He thought about a 3, elected not to. Ewers, just 1 basket on the evening. He averages 20.
And Ayersville's kind of running a 5 out here. So, again, going to be tough to get offensive rebounds, but it will open up some dribble drives here if they're patient.
They're going to feed Ewers in the low post. Up top, Lloyd on the drive, cut off. Dunn. They just can't get more than 8 feet in. Wolfram will launch from the near corner, off the heel of the iron. And here comes Parrott, and he's being told to slow it down with 36 ticks left to go in the third quarter.
Well, I think this is a great move by Coach Doug Etzler. You've got a 2-possession lead. You got the basketball. You also have the arrow to start the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So right now a chance to get some momentum after a nice Ayersville push here in the opening 4 minutes of quarter 3.
Parrott playing a little catch in between the rings with Hammonds. 13. 10. About now you'd want to get your offense started. Skip pass, far corner. Heckler on the drive. Fades away from the elbow. Nothing doing. And that will do it for quarter number 3 as Ewers puts up almost a full-length shot. It brings something. It's a lighting cover down from the rafters. 3 quarters in the books. Crestview 39. Ayersville 35. We'll take a quick timeout. Final 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. Survive in advance. Somebody will be back here Friday night. Stick around and see who earns it. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
WestBanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused WestBanco. Find out more at westbanco.com. WestBanco.
8 minutes. Fourth quarter. That's all that is left in one of these two teams' seasons. 14-9 Ayersville, trailing 13-9 Crestview. 39-35. Still anybody's ball game. Scoop, I hate to say who wants it more, but with the way that third quarter played out, it was just all grit.
It really was. Credit both these teams. You can really tell they want this one badly. They want a chance for that district championship, and they're not taking any plays off, and it's been a grind out there for 24 minutes. And right now, Crestview with the basketball. They have not trailed since the opening quarter. Nursing a 4-point lead right now. We start things out in this fourth and final quarter.
Ayersville staying in that man-to-man defense. Heckler in the high blocks, dribbles out of it. Low blocks, Sheets with 3 fouls. Up top, this is a long 3. One and done as Ewers with the board. Quick outlet to Dunn. On the drive, nobody picks him up. He's not going down without a swing or two, is he?
I tell you what, just you love the competitiveness. We've seen it all year. He has that ability to take you off the dribble. Sometimes he's just a little bit too unselfish, so to speak. Great take that time, makes it a one-possession game.
39-37, Putman. Up top, Parrott on the drive. I thought he had the shot, but he looked to pass. Up top, Parrott to Heckler. He's going to launch a 3 near wing. Nothing doing. Sheets just out muscles Peak for the board. Parrott, top of the key. That was a very low. That's the only bad shot I've seen him take tonight, Scoop, and he wishes he had it back. He's mad at himself.
Just never had a chance. I'm not sure if he had a good grip on it. It just really never had much arch on it. Maybe 10-foot at its peak. So, again, out of character. He's a deadly lights-out shooter. He's had a great game here tonight, but a chance now for Ayersville to perhaps tie or take the lead with a 3.
Dunn keeping his dribble, now picks it up. They'll reverse it. Ewers trying to jumpstart his offense on the drive. He's fouled. They're going to call that on the floor. They're going to call it a shooting foul.
Well, that time a great take by Dane Ewers. I thought Crestview a little bit tardy coming over to help. Usually when he gets the basketball, they run a second defender at him.
Button of the foul. Ewers leans in. Blocked, but a foul. And if that's Putman, he's just picked up 2 quickies within 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think that is going to go against Liam Putnam. That time he had a lot of basketball, but I also think he had a lot of body. Credit Ayersville there. That's a great out-of-bounds play to get a touch there for Dane Ewers, something he hasn't had a lot of here tonight. And for the first time, Ewers will head to the free throw line, potentially tie this game up.
First is on the way, splits the nylon.
This is the guy you probably want there as often as you can, just over 70% from the stripe this season, and he's had a good sample size.
Trying to jumpstart his offense. He averages 20 a game. He's missed this one. It remains a 1-point Crestview lead at 39-38. Ewers held to just 3 points so far tonight. Sheets. Ewers on his hip. He's posting up. He's got the seal, and they're going to go to their big man. Leans in, and that's just too easy.
I thought that was a mistake that time by Ayersville. They played behind the big man, Will Sheets, and he's just going to continue to back you down. He does such a great job of pinning his guys down low.
Ewers on the drive baseline, runs into Sheets. Bodies flying everywhere. Ball out of bounds. It will remain Pilot possession.
And how about Crestview? They continue to challenge everything inside. That time, good help side from Putnam coming over, getting rejection.
Into Peak. Ball stripped. You can't drop it. They're just too good defensively. He's going to back his man down. Middle of the paint. Goes begging off the left side. Rebounded by Heckler. Wide open. Cash is going to launch for 3. Can't hit this one. Weak side board, though, by Putman.
Yeah, the rebounding certainly has been the difference so far in this one. But again, just a one-possession game here with plenty of time.
Parrott, bounce pass, low block Sheets. He's stripped. It remains night basketball.
Yeah, you're going to have to find a way to front Will Sheets down there, get plenty of help on the backside as well. He's such a tough guard down there in the trenches.
Knights will milk a little clock. Ball kicked out of bounds by Ewers.
And that's a big play by Ewers because once again, Will Sheets was down on the low post and he was not being fronted, so he was going to get a good touch down there near ground zero.
Heckler stops, free throw line extended. Sheets drives in and throws it away. Dunn, wise move to slow it down.
Great one-on-one defense by Ewers.
Speaking of one-on-one, he's going to drive. This goes over the backboard and out of bounds. He was trying to pick up the foul, but a call is not forthcoming here.
Yeah, that time you expect a lot of contact. Ends up hitting the top of the backboard, rolls behind it.
Does he get that call if he leans in instead of fades away?
I think so.
Under 5 left to go in the ball game. Parrott directing traffic. Dunn giving him an arm's length. Timeout being called by Coach Etzler. Man, 41-38. We still have well over half of the fourth quarter to go, but right now, every possession critical. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back with more from the Dog Pound right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Discover top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
I don't know if this is intentional by the PA announcer, but Asia's heat of the moment blaring over the loudspeaker here. We are at 4:33 left to go in this ball game. District semifinal action. sees Crestview leading Ayersville 41-38. The winner is right back here in this same gym 48 hours from now on Friday night.
Yeah, the music certainly is appropriate, to say the least. Boy, this has been a heated battle all night long. And right now, again, plenty of time, 4.5 to go in a one-possession game. We've had very little separation this entire night.
Winner of this one will play the winner of the bottom half of the bracket, St. Henry and Spencerville. They were a late tip-off tonight. Heckler. What are they running here? There's a lot of motion. It's a particular set, and they get Sheets the ball in the low blocks. Drop step into the paint. Ewers can't take him one-on-one. He's just too strong.
Great execution. That time, a set play once again. End up going 4 out, 1 in. Of course, Will Sheets down there left one-on-one, and he's going to win that battle just about every time. Huge.
Peak. He's going to step into a three. Got it. A West Banco three. That's just his third basket of the second half, but it comes at a huge time for the Pilots.
That's a bomb that time, and again, he did not have much room, but he's got that quick release and a lot of confidence. We all know that. Boy, a huge answer that time by Peak and the Pilots.
Cuts the lead to 2. Crestview in no rush right now. Stumbling and a late whistle, and it's going to be a foul, I believe, is that Lloyd.
Yeah, that's an excellent call. Maybe a little late call, but that's a great call. And a lot of contact on that. Be a baseline out of bounds coming up here for Crestview.
Parrott, he is just calm, cool, and collected. Back in the game after having to leave with a bloody nose. Heckler, Sheets low blocks. He immediately goes back outside. They're in no rush. Heckler again. They're just not going to take a bad shot, Scoop. And as I say that, heat check from Parrott, and he's fouled on a made three. Oh, my goodness.
It's deja vu all over again. We saw that very same shot in the opening quarter end up being a 4-point play. And right now, an opportunity for Hayden Parrott to come up with his second 4-point play of the night after a West Banco three through contact. He's fouled.
That is huge, Mark. 2:55 in the fourth quarter down. A chance for a 4-point play.
Well, in a game where the biggest lead's been 6 points by either team, the second 4-point play opportunity. This one a little short. Big rebound that time by Dylan Dunn.
Lead remains 5, and Coach Wolfram wants a timeout. He's going to try and settle his team down. This is a 30-second variety, so we will keep it here. Still a lot of time left to be played, but Scoop, with as much effort as it's taken Ayersville each trip down the court offensively, you get the feeling that this is almost a must-score possession, don't you?
Well, you have that feeling. It's not, but you really have that feeling because Crestview done such a great job of really controlling the tempo, getting into the half-court sets, which we knew they would love to do coming in. And again, this might be the first time these two have met on the hardwood. I went back 25 years. They have not played each other in this century. But again, this looks like one of these long-time rivalries. Each team out there is really fighting tooth and nail in every possession.
Well, they know what's on the line. Your season is over. You pack up your gear and wait until next year if you're on the short end of the score here. Dunn. We'll see what Coach Wolfram has lined up. They get it to Peak. Middle of the paint. In and out. He got a great look, and Scoop, I think he thought contact was coming when it wasn't, and he just a little bit, he short-armed that basketball.
Yeah, that time trying to play through contact there a little bit. Had a good look there, 6-7 feet in front of the rim there. And that ball kind of rolled around, did everything but go in.
Here comes the full court pressure. Up by 5. Parrott breaks it. Ball is kicked and done. It was kicked, but that's still great effort. But right now, if you are Crestview, not to say that you spread the court here, but you're really going to take your time, aren't you?
Well, they're going to be very patient, very disciplined here, which Coach Etzler's known for. And they'll try to get that one-on-one look to Sheets inside if they can. Ayersville has just one more foul to give before the Knights head to the stripe. And the Knights just a 59% free throw shooting team. So
however, Hayden Parrott is not the guy you want to foul.
No.
Hudson Parrott, he's 2 for 2 tonight. Heckler, matter of fact, those are the only 2 Knights that have been to the free throw line at all tonight, Scoop. Skip past Putman. And now we've got a foul. This is not the guy you want to send to the line.
Well, that was their last foul to give, so that one really won't matter. From here on out, you certainly want to be selective who you put to the stripe, and that'll be the 5th foul there for Stambaugh.
Wow. So their defensive specialist will have to watch the final 2:03 from the bench.
And right now, I think if Will Sheets gets the ball, you go hack his shot
you have
right
to.
away. He's just a 39% free throw shooter.
And I stand corrected, he did go to the line, so he's the 3rd night. But it was 0 for 2 back in the second quarter. I don't know that you give him a touch. Now I'd foul him if I'm right now, if I'm yours. You got to foul him.
Don't.
Otherwise, he's going to back you down and do just that. That may be the backbreaker. Count it, and one coming.
Yeah, that time, just not the time you want to give that foul. I think you give it right away in that scenario. But, boy, that's huge. This makes it a 3-possession game for the first time tonight. And Sheets will head to the stripe trying to get the N1.
Well, again, Sheets, a 39% free throw shooter. He is 0 for 2 tonight. But his team in control right now with less than 2 minutes left to go. And a 7-point lead. It's short. Done with it. Pilot's got to move. Lloyd, nice crossover. Dishes out. Wolfram with a long 3. Scoop, now you got to extend the game if you're Ayersville, don't you?
Yeah.
You got to foul.
You got to pick your poison.
And
right
this is the
there
guy
it
to
is.
do it, and nobody has identified it. Go foul him. Oh, my goodness. They had their opportunity, and now the Knights wisely get it to their best free throw shooter,
that's a foul
Hayden
you
Parrott.
don't want to give right there. Parrott, again, a guy that's been there over 140 times if you count tonight's free throws on the season. And, again, he leads Crestview from the stripe, 65% on the season. And that'll be the 5th foul.
Is that Owen Lloyd's 5th? I had him for 3, but I might be short
he
one
got
in my
that
book.
last one down there where I think you might have thought it was yours. So we got 2 quick ones here in the last 30 seconds.
The senior buries his head as he's on the bench, and a rare miss by Hayden Parrott.
So right now, if you're Ayersville, it's still going to be, just a 3-possession game. So now you have no margin of error, though. You've got to get points.
Oh, my goodness, he missed both. That is a huge rarity, and it continues to give Ayersville a little bit of life. Peak, a minute 10. He's on the drive. Pump fake. Count it, and one coming.
What a smart play by Jeremiah Peak. Recognizes that the clock is certainly not their friend right now. I've got to make a play. And that time, a good dribble drive, tremendous pump fake. Now have a chance to the N1, which is huge. Chance to score some points, clock stop. You hit this free throw, you got a chance to set up some full court pressure.
Peak, an 86% free throw shooter. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Make it 2 for 2. And just as importantly, it allows a chance to call the timeout and come into pressure. But, Scoop, you can't be too picky right now if you're Ayersville, can you? If you don't get a steal off the inbounds, you've got to extend the ball game.
You can't. And again, Crestview just a 59% free throw shooter team, but I think if you don't get a steal right away, I think you've got to extend the game, foul. You try to keep it out of the hands of Hayden Parrott. I know he just missed 2 free throws, but again, he's your leader, not just in attempts, but also percentage, so you try to deny him the basketball here if you can.
You can take a look at the huddle. All business. Coach Wolfram leaning down. You can't see him as he's huddling over his guys sitting on the bench. Likewise, very businesslike for Crestview. It has been a tremendous ball game. And those in attendance have not been disappointed. As a matter of fact, we got a really good crowd here. I know this seat's unofficially, I think Coach Beauty told me, between 25 and 2,700. I'd say what, about 75% full here
Yeah,
tonight?
oh yeah, great crowd here tonight, and should have a great second game here tonight as well.
Yep. Well, look at this. Hayden Parrott is going to inbound. So at this point, unless they run something tricky, I think you foul whoever gets the inbounds right now. They get it right back to him. They were just too late, and now you can't be too picky. And the foul wisely comes on Cash Hammonds.
Yeah, great job by Cash Hammonds that time. Looked like they tried to make that foul right away. There was a no call. Surprised that Hayden Parrott gave it up as quickly as he did.
Yep. I thought he was just going to play turtle and let him foul him. Now, Cash Hammonds is a 54% free throw shooter on the season, 29 out of 53. He's getting a little bit of a chance here to catch his breath. First trip to the line tonight. All net.
Well, that's huge. You haven't taken shots here tonight. You step up here in crunch time. You hit the first of two. And again, even if he makes the second, still just a two-possession game. Ayersville got to come up the rebound here if he comes up off the iron.
Boy, he is. That's money. Cash Hammonds, with ice water in his veins, hits arguably the two biggest free throws of the season.
Well, he was in there for exactly that reason, so credit Coach Etzler. He got his best foul shooters out here.
Still a two-possession game, but Ayersville's got to hustle. And Dunn turns it over, and guess who? Parrott on the drive, and that may be the final nail in the coffin.
Points from defense is always huge, and that one makes it a three-possession game here.
Peak, step back, desperation three. It is short. Hexler with the board, stripped from behind by Wolfram. Ewers leans in. Not done just yet. Counted and one coming.
Great hustle play there to come up with the strip just when you thought maybe that's game, set, and match. A huge turnover by the Knights. And now an and one for Dane Ewers. And maybe that can jumpstart him here. I know there's just 32.6 left, but again, still just a two-possession game. Huge free throw coming up here to cut the lead to 5.
Crucial here to hit it so they can get into their press, and he does. And now it doesn't matter who takes the inbounds, you got to foul if you're Ayersville. And Dunn wisely does that. 1 second ticks off the clock. Dillon with his third, and that's going to send Heckler to the line. Heckler, a 57% free throw shooter, and it will be his first stroll to the line tonight.
That's a great job by Dunn. You know, we talked about it in the districts. You expect the whistles to be in the pocket a little bit more tonight than typically in the regular season. So you can't just go in there and rush a guy on the wrist. You have to
get your money's worth.
Foul, but you also cannot make it look intentional. So great job that time. 2 free throws coming up here for Heckler. First one up and in.
They're looking to salt this one away.
Boy, this could be huge here to make it a 2-possession game. Coach Etzler continues to go offense, defense here in crunch time.
At 53-47, it's a 2-possession game as it is, but now we're looking at 6 points. Now 7, so a 3-possession game. Peak with 24 ticks left to go. Dunn will launch at 3. Nothing doing. And that may do it. Peak fouls. Parrott hits the deck. And some frustration talk now happening as Ayersville seeing the final 16 of 3/10 seconds of their season about to tick off the clock.
Yeah, right now I'm kind of surprised to see Crestview on the charity stripe here. The last thing you want to do is foul on a rebound and extend this game.
Low line drive, and it goes off the front of the iron.
And right on cue, Crestview now, after the first attempt, heads to the backcourt. And again, that's just high IQ basketball. You've got a 3-possession lead, regardless of what happens here on the second attempt.
Off the lane and just don't foul. You can just let Dane Ewers do whatever he wants to here. Dunn will launch a 3. It's short, rebounded by Sheets. Parrott, that's a smart move. Just back it out. What a ball game. Crestview, first game in 11 days, snaps a 3-game losing streak to end the season and they survive and advance. 54-47 our final score.
A great job by the Knights. In crunch time to close this out, Ayersville just refused to go away but could not get over the hump. They cut it to a point or two multiple times in the second half, but did not have a lead after that first quarter.
7-point victory as Crestview will advance right back here at Defiance on Friday evening, 6 o'clock. They will take on either St. Henry or Spencerville, as they're now 14-9 overall. The Pilots fall to 14-10 to wrap up a fine season of their own. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with your postgame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Stamball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stamball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
West Banco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused West Banco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Well, one set of fans files out. Another set of fans files in. This is the opener of a doubleheader here tonight at Defiance High School, otherwise known as the Dog Pound. District semifinal action. One game is in the books, and it is the Northwest Conference getting the better of the Green Meadows Conference here this evening. But what a dandy of a ball game as second-seeded Crestview knocks off fourth-seeded Ayersville by a final of 54-47. Our postgame is now underway. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Let's run down your Arthur Law Firm Stat Tracker stats. If a serious injury from a car crash has put you on the injured list, call the personal injury attorneys at Arthur Law Firm. Serving Northwest Ohio for more than 50 years. Get the compensation you deserve and back in the game with your winning team at Arthur Law Firm. Wow. Let's go ahead and start. Let's start with Ayersville. All 5 starters in the scoring column. No bench points this evening, and I know it will be of little consolation for Jeremiah Peak, but well above his per-game average this year of 16. He leads all scorers tonight with 24 points. He had 14 at the half. He finished a little late with a flurry, 10 in the second half, but again, going down in a blaze of glory here. He's the only Pilot to hit double figures. It wasn't so much who scored for the Pilot Scoop, it was who didn't. Dane Ewers, sophomore center, held scoreless at the intermission. He finishes with 6. It was clear they were going to take one of their 2 big guns out and it was Ewers, and he just never could get his offense jump started tonight.
Well, you're exactly right. I was so impressed with Coach Doug Etzler's game plan as far as Ewers. We've seen Dane Ewers in the pilot so many times this season, and everybody has tried some gimmick defenses. Mm-hmm. They've thrown some wrinkles to take him out. Most have been unsuccessful, as we know. But tonight, credit Coach Etzler and his guys. They came out and executed. Not only did they keep him really off the scoreboard for most of that first half, they just kept him from getting the basketball. Yeah. He had very few touches. I think, maybe a shot that was rejected the first half. Not a whole lot of opportunities for Dane Ewers, and that's a credit to Crestview and their game plan.
Well, and that's just it, though. No gimmicks needed tonight. Crestview won with just straight man-to-man defense.
They really did. You know, we talked about how they were able to win those one-on-one perimeter battles. They did not let Ayersville get downhill. The only success I thought Ayersville had offensively came in that second half when those, second, third, fourth, fifth leading scores, secondary scores, really started to kind of take the initiative. They got aggressive. They put some pressure on that Crestview defense. But again, if you're going to pick your poison, try to take Dane Ewers out, make the rest of the guys step up. That's what happened here tonight.
Nobody else even close to double figures. Dylan Dunn did score a flurry in the second half. He finishes with 8, so he was a basket away from 10. But as we mentioned, Ewers normally averages just over 20, held to 6 tonight. 5 points for Jackson Stambaugh, who fouled out with just over 2 minutes left to go. And senior Owen Lloyd finished with 4. He fouled out with just under 90 seconds left to go. All 5 starters in the scoring column for head coach Doug Etzler and company, led by Hayden Parrott. And how about stepping up big when your team needed you? He came into this one averaging 16 a game. He did better than that. He finished with 21, and not to mention how many minutes he missed in the third quarter scoop when he took a shot to the nose and had to come out to basically get the bleeding stopped. What a gritty performance tonight by the Crestview point guard.
It was gritty and gutty, and I give him so much credit because not only did he come back, he's still pretty puffed up right now. He took a shot, but he got right back in it. And not only did he get back in it, his presence was felt right away.
Yep.
Not just from the offensive standpoint, but from the defensive standpoint. We saw him get a couple big steals and runouts. He also really was that calming force, handling the basketball. When he was out of the ball game, that's when Ayersville kind of made a move there. They extended their defense. They're able to get a little pressure in the Knights, turn them over a few times. But, once he was able to re-enter, Parrott really did a great job down the stretch.
He also had a little bit more balance to help him out. Will Sheets finishes with 10 tonight. 8 points for Liam Putman, 5 for Owen Heckler, and 4 for Hudson Parrott. Then how about Cash Hammonds off the bench with a half a dozen? Anytime you can get bench production, and I don't just mean one basket, but he scores 6 off the bench. Hey, the difference tonight was 7. Scoop, anybody and everybody can make a contribution.
Well, you're right. And I've seen Cash Hammonds now 3 times this season, and to me, he's one of the best 6-man I've seen here in Northwest Ohio. He's just a sophomore. He comes in. He's going to put pressure on your defense. He does a great job of knowing when to go. He's a very unselfish player, and he's a guy that's got a high upside. He's going to continue to get better.
He's a 6-man this year. He's going to be a starter next year. Absolutely. But as it stands, anybody and everybody, next man in, he was that guy tonight. What did you have for board work and turnovers?
Well, the boards really kind of spelled doom, I thought, for Ayersville tonight. On the evening, Crestview out-rebounded Ayersville 29-18, so plus 11. We talked about that being the key number 1 for Ayersville, compete on the glass. The physicality of Crestview, really Ayersville just did not have the answer for. The Pilots just 3 offensive rebounds the entire night. I think 2 came on 1 possession, so other than that, they really did not get a sniff as far as second chance points. Crestview had 6 offensive boards, which they did a nice job. I had them unofficially converting those 6 offensive rebounds into 6 points. On the turnover side, Ayersville defense did turn Crestview over 11 times, but the Crestview defense turned over Ayersville 8 times. Unfortunately for Ayersville, those 8 turnovers led to a lot of points for that Crestview from the Crestview defense. So that was a big key tonight as well.
It all boils down to a 54-47 Crestview win. They are now 14-9 overall. They have earned the right to play in the district finals on Friday. They will take on the winner of the St. Henry-Spencerville game right back here at the Dog Pound at 6 o'clock. The Pilots end their season at 14-10, and I know they'll lose a few seniors, but still a very strong nucleus coming back next year, and you would certainly think they'll make waves in the GMC again.
I totally agree. I like what this team has coming back. They're going to miss some awfully good seniors, no question about it, but you always tell your guys, in athletics there's two types of pain. There's that physical pain that everybody's going to feel tonight from such a physical battle, but there's that emotional pain of regret from not living it all out there. I don't think Ayersville's going to feel that tonight because they did everything they could. They left everything out there on the floor. These guys can walk off with their heads up.
All right,
Again,
our graphics is showing Spencerville a winner tonight, so I'm going to assume that they have been able to check that.
Yeah,
that was last night.
Spencerville did knock off number 2 St. Henry, so that's a good win for the Bearcats.
So there we go. The district finals are now set. Crestview versus Spencerville Friday night back here at the Dog Pound at 6 o'clock. That's going to do it for our coverage, not just tonight, but all season long. Our crew doing more than yeoman's work. A big thank you going out to our sponsors for helping make all of our broadcasts a possibility, and you, the fan, for tuning in. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot saying thanks for joining us again. Final score, Crestview 54, Ayersville 47. Ayersville 47. You've been watching a sports presentation of DCTV.